Man, whatever, dude. Yeah, like you from Florida or something.
I should be.
I'm just saying, I changed my camera layout. I should have done it this way a long time ago. It looks so much better. It looks so much better.
We live?
Yeah, we good.
We live
What's
and
up?
direct. What up, people?
How y'all doing?
What up, though?
Better call me T Will in the house.
T Will, JQ,
Mike.
Reese, Mike, your host, Soup. We got
I like
we're
that.
gonna be calling in today. We got a caller.
First caller.
First caller. Just let y'all know we do
You
this.
don't count,
So,
TJ?
Oh yeah,
well, TJ's part of the show.
He's
He ain't
part of
really
the show.
he ain't really a caller.
Alright.
So
First viewer caller.
first viewer
I get
caller.
you.
There we go.
There we go. I like that. As y'all know, the Niners are 6-0. Just have to keep that on your mind.
Until this week when they lose.
Ah,
I
shut
can't
up.
sign hard.
We smashed y'all. Shut up.
Lemon smash.
Who they playing? Who they playing? Who you playing?
Who they playing?
Who you playing? Denver?
No, we played Denver last week.
Trash.
Yeah, you are.
Y'all beat Denver
Eagles
with
last
week.
four.
Y'all about to lose tomorrow.
Dallas. Let's go, Dallas. Prescott. Get your shit together.
He's calling in next
I'm
week.
glad he qualified today. He's like, get your shit together.
That's fun.
All right, we gonna get started, y'all. I'm gonna make this phone call to Ty Hubbard.
Yo,
right?
Ty Hubbard.
Ty Hubbard.
Texas.
Down in Texas.
From Texas.
Texas. Everything's big in Texas.
All my exes
Except they win.
living in Texas.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Houston's doing
Houston
good.
went to
They
the World
decent.
Series, aren't they?
Houston's doing
They-
good.
The baseball
They
team.
there
Houston
now.
Astros?
Yeah, the
Yeah, they-
Did they
Yeah,
win
they
last
won
night?
game
Did they win last
Yeah,
night?
they won.
They won game 3, and so that's
Oh, that's
back in the
2
game.
and 1.
So
2
you
and 1.
can't talk
Back
too
in the
much
game.
about
Nah.
Houston.
Houston.
They at
Nah,
World
they
Series.
did some shit there.
Texas.
All right, I'm gonna place this call. Let's see what. Oh, he went through quick.
Yeah, it went quick that time.
We live.
He went to the Wi-Fi area, the strong Wi-Fi area.
Of the house. Of the house.
Hello.
What's up, Hub?
up?
What up, Hub?
You live on
Hello,
Fellas
ladies, fellas.
Forum. What's going on?
Chilling, playing a little Call of Duty and shit.
Okay.
Oh, I
wanna-
ain't been on there.
Hey,
You wanna-
excited
You got the,
about,
you got the new one too, the Modern Warfare.
Do we?
Did that just
yeah,
come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you like
it came out. Yeah, it's good. It go hard.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go
Real
snatch
shit,
that.
Real life shit on there. They did a whole lot better than usual.
That's what's up.
Well,
Man,
tell
I'm
the
a
people a little bit
hardcore
about
Old
yourself.
school stuff. But
I don't do shit but go to work, raise my two little girls, and come home, play the game with the fellas. Mike know a little bit about that.
That's
Yep,
what's up.
yep.
Yep.
Father duties. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
All I
Daddy
do.
duties.
Get drunk a little bit. Hell yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. Fellas Forum, man.
Sip the juice.
All right. So you said, I understand you got something you want to talk about. What's that?
Yeah, I don't get why it's so easy for females to go press a man for child support or whatever when they don't even have a valid reason. They can just go up there and sign a paper or whatever, and then
Right.
next thing you know, the man got to show up to court and he on child support. Like
Definitely.
he can be doing everything possible for his kids, but they sign this paper and then he on child support. Now he's paying money out of his pocket to his baby mama that just want to go splurge, I guess.
They just
Yeah.
want to use it as
So-
an extra income. Some in those instances are they just want to use it as an extra income and use the kids as
Right.
leverage. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Like,
know.
and that's what I
Yeah.
hate. I don't like that.
I think the child support it's been misused. I agree.
It's
I
geared
think
towards
the
the
original
woman.
purpose for it was for parents who were not involved in their kids.
Right.
Who did not want to be
Right.
involved in their kids. But if it sounds like you're a family guy, you want to be a big part of your daughter's
Right.
life. That should not be a submissible situation where they can go ahead and say, I want child support for him, even though he's still paying for all their clothes and their food.
Spending
I
time
think,
with
I
them.
think
some
a lot
people
of-
do it out of anger. You
A lot of
Oh,
them do.
yeah.
do a lot of anger.
Yeah,
with it.
a lot do. We don't know your situation completely.
I think.
but
I
Yeah,
think.
you can like you can see
We're getting a bad connection there.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Ty. Say that again.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, everything will be good with you and your baby mom. As soon as y'all break up or whatever, get in a relationship with somebody else or talking to somebody else, that's when it normally happens. So,
Right.
I'm
That
just
person
speaking
starts putting
for
ideas
like the
in their
people
mind.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got
What's the laws in Houston? I mean, I'm familiar with Missouri laws, but I don't know what the deal is. It's like in Missouri, we have what they call a bastard law. So basically, if you sign a birth certificate,
yeah.
even if you don't know for sure if that kid is yours or not, you stuck paying child support.
Definitely.
You can find out
No.
2 years later.
Say in Texas.
Uh-huh.
In Texas, it's if you sign a birth certificate or whatever, just saying you the dad or whatever, you good. But like, say this girl have a blood test, you like, I don't think that's my kid, and you get the blood test, and you end up having to get a blood test for this kid at the emergency room or whatever. That you already stuck then. But you good as long as you get signed a birth certificate. Yeah, that's my kid. You get. But if you
So-
like, I need a blood test, I don't think it's mine.
When you say
you
you're-
automatically have to take the blood test.
When you say you're good and your name's on the birth certificate, what do you mean?
Like he just said, like, if you had a kid, you sign a birth certificate, I'm the whatever, you get stuck with child support.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Not in you sign a birth certificate, and you get on with like until you end up getting stuck eventually by one of these females or whatever. But if you say, "Oh, that's not my kid," get a blood test. I don't think that's my kid. After you take that blood test and them results come back and it says your
stuck.
kid,
Yeah.
you getting stuck.
Yeah, I see what you're
they
saying.
gonna
I've
stick you
heard
for
of that.
Well, I mean, so as far as the process goes with your child support, I mean, in Missouri it's income based. So if you work whatever, they try to base off your income, and they don't
Yeah, it's basically like that.
and they don't take into consideration any other extra things that you do. So
Right.
I mean,
Not
I
unless you
think
go to
that's
court.
I think that's the part that seems to be a little bit offside,
Yeah,
which is
that's
what
crazy
you're
too,
saying.
'cause
I agree with that.
I can pay $500 a month, then I'm coming out my pocket to pay at least $200-300 more for clothes and food and
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
extra stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but,
mean,
you know, it's so crazy because they make it so easy when I guess that says a lot of apples ruin one bad apple ruins the whole batch, and that's kind of how they
Right.
grouped us into it because we're not really. A lot of us are not all bad parents. You know, we want to be there for our kids. We take care of our kids. We go up and beyond for our kids. But then the courts and these people don't see that, and they stick us with all this money that we have to pay back when we are actually doing for our kids.
well,
I don't get
Yeah.
that.
You know,
it's so easy for them to file.
Here's
and do
what
all
I can
that.
tell you: if it ain't in writing, it didn't happen.
And that's
I
crazy.
actually worked
Yeah, that's crazy.
Receipts.
when I was at the sheriff's department. I actually worked security for
Right.
the child support hearings, and there's been maybe 3 cases I can remember of where there was the same thing. She was like, I need more, I need more, I need more. And he's like, okay, that's cool, but here's all this stuff that I have done over the year. This dude had $13,000 in receipts of
Yeah, I was just about to say
of
the same
things
thing.
that he
I
that
keep
he did
everything
paying
now.
for you know, gym stuff or basketball things, and he kept all those receipts. And so with that being said, they said, well, we still have to base off your income. He says, that's fine that you're basing off my income, but how do I get compensated for this when I'm doing all this extra stuff that she's not doing? He's like, so if I'm going to be doing this, how come we can't, you know,
Take
the
this off on
difference
back
off?
end. Yeah.
And I mean, they went back and forth. That was the longest hearing I ever sat in, and it got heated. That's the only reason I was in there. But they ended up reducing his monthly payments.
That's good.
But he still had to provide these receipts, and he said, I don't have a problem with that. And that's how he kind of got through that. It is not an easy process
Not at all.
because they just base off your income.
Yep,
I
they
mean,
do.
that's the easiest way to do it because there's so many cases out there that that come before the courts, and they got to have a way to streamline it.
It sucks because the system favors the mother.
Always.
The system favors
And you gotta fight hard.
the system
Definitely,
favors
yeah.
the parent
Right.
who keeps the kid, which is 90% of the time the mother. Because Missouri don't care. Missouri will go after women if the father has custody. It depends on who has custody, guys. You got to remember that. If you have sole custody of that child,
But
you can go
see,
and
this
get.
is the thing.
Hey, look at
never take sole
What?
custody away from the mother.
Oh,
Never.
yes, they do.
No,
what's-
not. They have to be on.
percentage is low. The
Very,
percentage is
very
low.
low. They
The
have to be out
percentage
there
is
on
low, bro.
drugs, abusing the kids.
I'ma
They
tell
have
you
to
why, though.
Go through all these steps.
But there's a
before
reason.
they do that.
Missouri
Trust me.
favors the mother.
But there's
Trust
a
me.
there's
Trust
a
me.
reason, because 90% of the time when a child goes home, it goes home with the mother and it stays with the mother. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. If from the day one, if you
Toddler.
take that kid home and you're the one that's the primary caregiver, that is what they're talking about, the primary caregiver.
Yeah, I
which is
understand
90% of the time the mother.
But they don't. But it's
so
just
it's not
still-
it's not really that they're favoring the mother, they're favoring the primary caregiver. That's what you got to understand,
But
because
9
I've seen
times
it
out
go
of 10,
both
it's
ways.
Never,
It don't
it's
seem that
never,
way, bro.
It doesn't seem that way.
It
And
don't
it's
seem that
never
way.
the male ever.
Because they're usually
they
not the
never
primary.
ever give sole custody to a male or the father unless she's out on drugs. She can't take care. She
On
doesn't have a
drugs or
house.
some
She
shit
doesn't
like-
have.
yeah.
She's not. She's abusing the kid. They never. Even if she's
it
she's
gotta
a
be
manipulate.
something.
They
It gotta
still
be
give her the.
something.
They still
Yeah.
give it to her.
But it's
You know what I'm saying? They still give her the kid.
But what I'm saying is, so you think about when a lady has a baby. I'm devil's advocate here, guys.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
When
know.
a lady has a
We
baby,
need that.
she's gonna go on FMLA and be at home with that kid. More than likely, the father's gonna be out working. If for some reason that there's a issue between the two, if the mother's already staying at home and not working, the father's not going to take custody of the kid because he can't afford to pay child care and everything like that. So he's going to leave, and then she's going to be there. So let's say a year goes by, even though you're still providing things and you guys are trying to keep some type of dialogue going. Then you go to court. When as a judge sitting there, I'm going to say, well, who's had the kid this whole time? The mother says, I have. Where do you work? I don't work anywhere. How are you taking care of the kid? Well, he gives me some money. Okay, so you're the primary caregiver. Even though
That's because he's accepted. He
Exactly.
gave money. He should have never
Exactly.
gave her money.
Exactly.
To her household.
when they decide to split up,
That's messed
he
up.
should have went and got a custody agreement at that moment. Go to court and say, hey, we're splitting up. I want to have joint custody of my kid. That way they can't say that there's one person giving more care than the other.
But you got to realize there's a difference between sole custody and joint physical
Exactly.
custody.
Exactly.
So that-
but
I mean,
before
that-
there's an agreement,
Yeah, that's
before there's an
whenever you're
agreement, you have to
initially-
get some type of temporary
Yeah.
agreement so that it shows that she's not the primary caregiver.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're not gonna stick you with this whole thing of this back child support
I could
because
be
it's
a
in record.
millionaire and they still give her the custodial parent.
Okay, yeah.
You know, they still give it to the mother. They don't give it to the male.
So what about just two parents just going in there and saying, oh, they're fighting for the kid, and they both been paying, But the court is going to go to the mother most of the time.
All the time.
I don't know, man.
In Missouri,
They're
it
favoring.
I think
they
it's-
favor the
most-
mother.
I think it's situational.
What you say, Ty?
Most of the time, they gonna favor the woman.
Always.
Well, and I've
there are
seen
some
it
states
anyway.
they're notorious for it.
I mean, but you know, there's a lot of factors in there. Does she work?
But yeah,
What's her home life like? What's your home life like?
It don't
Say,
matter.
hold on, what?
It
say,
does
Ty?
matter.
Tyler,
he had
Tyler was
something
saying
to say.
something. What were you
What'd you say,
saying,
Ty?
I said I understand what you were saying too. Like if the mother got custody, 90% of the mothers do have custody of the kids, so they would side with her.
Yeah. But I mean, I think if you establish that early on, if you know this ain't gonna work and you establish that along through the courts, you got a better chance of not getting stuck with, you know, paying something and then you're still trying to do the right thing and you're not gonna say, you know, your kid come and say, I want a new pair of Nikes. You're gonna be like, hey, tell your mother to get them because I just gave you $500. You're not gonna do that. I mean, no decent person is gonna do that. You're gonna go out and get them.
No,
You're gonna go out and get them.
Yeah, you
I mean, and so it does weigh on the
sucks,
man. Like,
man.
why am I doing this? And you know, but in all honesty,
She's taking that $500 going to get some dresses.
Well,
I ain't gonna party in it.
I ain't going
Home
there.
girl.
Hey Ty, I'm in the situation that you're in too, man, and I feel the same way on different things that are going on with the child support stuff too. It's weird. I hate that though. Like you're doing all you can do on the initial child support order, and you're doing all this, what you can do, you're getting and then those later years, you start getting promotions. The woman can go back
you
3
gotta go
years,
back, yeah,
and then she
3
can be
years
like, I want to
later,
modify my
renew.
child support because I see you getting money over here, and I want to modify, and then they go back and do
we
all
need
this
more.
modification, and you got to pay more.
And that's why
That's
that,
not cool.
that's that whole receipt thing, man. You gotta
cool.
have, if it ain't in writing, it didn't happen. You know, because you can say it all the time that I did this, I did that. They're gonna be like, okay, prove it.
I now on that flip side, the second time I did that, and because I didn't know the first time, and I had to go do that because I didn't know that. You know, I had
Right.
somebody, my lawyer told me, you know, you need
Right.
you need to keep everything.
Right.
And I started keeping everything. You
Right.
know. And then whenever I got, whenever we were going, I think this is the time that we were going for taxes, and I claimed one, she claims one, and what happened was she ended up claiming both of them. And this is the way that I stuck back to her because I kept all my receipts. I kept every freaking thing that I paid for her, sent it in when we got audited, sent it in. She had to pay all that money back that the state or the
Absolutely.
federal gave to her.
Absolutely.
Because she was in the wrong. And
Absolutely.
I was like, that was my only win ever. That was my only win ever. She had to pay back. But I was
0-13.
yeah, yeah.
That's my only
That was my only win. But that I mean, I understand the receipt thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at
Yeah.
first until I started,
Yeah.
you know, doing
And-
more research into
And you
it.
know, like they said, man, since the before time, you know, mama's baby, father's maybe.
maybes, right.
And that sticks.
That does.
It
That really
sticks,
does.
man.
And
I
it
mean,
hurts.
Sticks hard.
It's not always fair because, like I said, I have seen a guy who's working his butt off, trying to pay back child support.
been there.
Then they want to send him to jail.
Right.
I'm like, how's he ever gonna catch up?
Right.
Yeah, he ain't gonna never catch up. if
Never.
he's sitting in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have seen a couple judges be like, there's no point in sending you to jail. You just got a job. You know, you're in arrears $2,000.
Right.
We're in court for that. You just got a job. You're missing work right now. If I send you to jail, we're just going to be back here in another 6 months.
Right.
So they said, okay, we're going to put you on probation.
Right.
You got to make these payments. We need you to make this much. When do you get paid? And then, you know, so basically this guy was like, that's great, Judge. I appreciate it. But how am I supposed to live?
I say
If
yeah,
I make
that is true.
$400 a week and you want me to give you 200
Right.
of it, how am I supposed to live? It doesn't make any sense.
I got a question for you, Ty.
What's up?
What's the cutoff age in Texas for you to stop paying child support? And what are the stipulations for if you do have to continue to pay child support? What age is that afterwards? Like if they go to college or something like that. What is the rules?
I got my dad when he was paying child support for me when I was growing up. It was 18. I think it still is 18 though. Unless you not caught up on your shit.
So
Like,
there's
until
no
you get like. What were you trying to say?
so there's no stipulations on like if they go to 18 it stops, and then if they go to college 4 years you still have to pay until they're out of college. There's nothing like that in Texas.
Nah.
Okay. Well, Missouri,
Missouri like that.
Missouri, you have to.
Yeah.
In Missouri, the law is if they go to 18, 2 weeks or whatever the college starts, they have to go to college that first beginning year, and then you have to pay all the rest of the 4 years until they're out of college.
Yeah, they have to be enrolled in school though.
Yeah, they have to be enrolled in school at a certain point for it to start.
Nah, not
Clocking.
here. They graduate
Yeah, so now
high
Missouri.
school and
It's a
they
wrap, huh?
18 years old. It's over with.
Man,
So,
I'm moving to Texas.
y'all better come get stuff to
It doesn't matter. All your problems are in Missouri.
Right.
Oh yeah, it don't matter if you move to Texas.
Yeah, I can't even change
Hey,
venue.
It don't
huh?
navigate.
I'm gonna
with
tell you right now,
Man.
if Bin Laden would have had a kid in Missouri, they'd have found him real quick.
Hey, so hey, this Reese. So my wife works in child support, and like
Why have you been quiet this whole time?
Cause y'all been talking.
Because he's
I've
not
been
the
letting y'all
expert
talk.
on this.
Yeah, you're right. Not at all. But
I know.
Damn.
so she used to work on the call side, right? Now she work on the money side, but she's on the call side. I hear all types of examples of people, and it's mostly women that are getting over on the system, right? So but some of these men are too, and like I said, this devil's advocate. I'm just telling the stories that I know. So some of these women, there's been we got a couple of rappers here in Missouri that had just regular paying jobs before they blew up, and they're actually still paying that regular pay. So if they worked at McDonald's making $9 an hour, they were actually still paying, just say $300 a month, even though they're millionaires now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what y'all was saying, they would take them, the wife or the girlfriend or whatever, take them to court and try to get adjusted, and then they're making an agreement with the judge or whoever and say, okay, I'm willing to pay this amount, but it's still not enough, you know. And then but the worst one that I ever heard is, which is so crazy to me and it still blows my mind to this day. So the husband got a great paying job, like working for the railroad, right? So you know he making some bread.
Yeah.
And the wife and the 3 kids were on welfare, right? So the wife called my wife and was asking, you know, where the payment was. And so the dude, so he owed like 15 G's. So he paid the 15 G's off. And she said, if I accept this money, will it cut my welfare off? Which blew my mind, because you're thinking, okay,
It's income.
But this person is still gonna have to pay for these children over and over and over.
Mhm.
But he's gonna make that
Bulk payment.
Yeah, that bulk payment to get him out of the red.
The debt.
Arrears.
The rears.
To get him out of the rear. But it just blew my mind, man, that somebody would actually call, like, if I accept this, will this cut me off from here?
Well, I mean, it's an
I
income
understand
thing.
that.
I get it, because
Yeah.
if that's her,
But
if she's dependent on that
But if this
welfare.
If
Yeah,
this
'cause-
person is making whatever amount of money working for the railroad, which is going to be some
But
good bread.
well, obviously he was behind, so she can't say that is going to be a consistent payment. She doesn't
For
have
3
the trust
kids?
factor. She doesn't have the trust there, though.
Even if it's $700 a month, that still might not be enough to pay her bills.
But
It depends on-
I would assume you're not making
Maybe she don't wanna
more
get a
than
job.
$700. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's on welfare. She
She
probably don't want to
wanna
get a job.
But
Right.
Well, you
I'm gonna
can't-
tell
you
you, when
can't
it comes
say
to that welfare stuff
Maybe.
and they're giving the mother money, they will give her anything she wants. Housing, tantatives, anything that she wants to
Right.
keep her.
She living
to where
life.
the
She
dad
living
can
life,
just pay
huh?
for every.
She living it up.
She ain't gotta do nothing.
You ain't gotta do
You
nothing.
ain't gotta do nothing. So that's why she was like 15 grand.
Hey,
Shit.
You got to
I
come.
did not
When
know
that
you gotta
15
bring-
grand go,
You better come up.
I did not
my
mean
God.
for this conversation to go that direction. I did not mean for that.
hey, but it's the truth.
What you was talking about with the entertainer, you know, there's a way to get around that, because you can't say that his income is going to be the same all the time,
Right.
because he's an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably how he got around that. He's contracted work, so you can't say that if I made 50,000 this time, I might make 2,000 the next time,
Right.
or I might make 200. There's no balance,
Right.
So you can't really. That's how he gets around that.
But if this dude is a millionaire,
I mean, that doesn't matter.
but that's
It's based on your income,
Yeah,
not on money that you have in
It's
the bank.
based on reported income. 'Cause
Right.
you
It's
gotta
not.
report your
It's not.
income.
It's not based on
Everything.
money that you have in the bank. It's your income that you're making. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
she probably could go and try to sue him
mm-hmm.
in a civil suit,
right?
but you know, otherwise probably not.
Hey Ty, how many kids do you have?
But I have 2,
2.
1 5 and 1 year old. Yeah.
And then it based on age down there too. On like if they get the older you get, maybe the less you pay, maybe, or is it going to be the same across the board?
No, it's the same across the board.
But it's built off your income, basically, right? So if you go get
it's still off income.
Okay.
yeah, so when you get a better paying job, then they're like you said, Ty,
3
you
years.
gonna,
It's gonna
they're
raise
gonna
it
have
up.
to
So-
adjust it.
So what if you get a job that pay less? Would they?
He ain't accepting it.
If you go and get it adjusted, but you have to set a hearing.
Yeah,
have to
you have
set
to
a
go
hearing.
back and forth.
So
They
basically,
not just gonna look at
drop
your.
it.
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's streamlined because it's so many. So they're not gonna just just be monitoring your payment. Like, oh, he made $200 less now. We need to take it down 50 cents. They're not gonna do that. If you need an adjustment, if you lose your job or you get a
That's
lower
for
paying
sure.
job, you better go to court
Got
and
to.
get that adjusted because
And you better go to court and don't let that woman go by herself.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Go off
Yeah,
what she
but
wanna do.
But you still got to pay all them court costs from going
Yeah, you do.
800
actually,
times or whatever. To
actually, they have hearings in the child support
that are
office.
free.
That's not a actual court hearing.
Oh.
What? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Was not adjustment case. What is it called? I can't remember the technical name of it. But if you go for one of those hearings, that's not in front of a judge. Technically, there is a lawyer present for the state. There's your lawyer present if you want them, and the caseworker. That's who's present, and the two individuals. That's who's present there, and they have all the information, and they go for if you want to do an adjustment, whether you want to decrease it or increase it. That's how you do that. But like Ty is saying, she can make that hearing. They'll serve you, and if you don't get that paperwork or you don't show up for that hearing, they just gonna go with whatever.
Automatically.
They're gonna go with whatever the adjustment is.
Automatically.
So, I have a question. If you get divorced or separated or whatever, you know, you have custody or whatever, or joint custody, or she's the primary caregiver. If she marries someone who's making more money than you,
Doesn't matter.
Got to go to court.
No. The other parent is never involved in that
Oh, yes,
initial parent's.
Oh yeah, you can.
That's a lie.
Not it.
But
Oh,
it's
yes,
like,
you can.
If
That's
she
a lie.
marries,
I've
if she marries
never
someone who's
heard
Oh,
alive,
yes, you can.
In Missouri law, I've never seen that.
Yes, you
and
can.
I've never seen that
Yeah,
happen.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Income coming in your household, bruh.
An adjustment is an adjustment is an adjustment. They
Not for your spouse.
get your spouse.
So you're saying that your spouse, on your case, can be audited or adjusted because of
Yes.
your child support?
Well,
no, you can't.
if she
No, you
marries
can't.
like if she
no,
marries
you cannot.
someone-
No, you
Bruh,
cannot.
I'm telling you.
If she marries someone, that doesn't have anything to do with our case, me and her case. That's our kids together. That doesn't have to do anything with you coming into the case. Not at all. Not at all. That does not happen.
It probably determines when who female or male when do you decide to file child support if you already married and they trying to get child support.
Well, if they file,
Now, if they
while
filed
you're
before-
married, then I can see that. But if
Right.
before you filed, then
Yeah.
no, you can't do that because
Yeah,
I have
before.
that going on right now,
You
and
need
that
to
doesn't
get
get
Vicky
touched.
in
they can
No,
assess that.
they can't. They cannot.
'Cause
They
that-
can.
It would sound like bull
Would
crap.
they
18 years.
would they do
I've
it?
never heard that.
Would they do it?
Never.
Probably not.
No, they
because
don't.
but if the other parent pushes it and says, "Hey, I'm struggling. He's got more than enough income to make this." But what it's based on is the cost of living for you and the cost of living for the kid.
Right.
So if you have a compensation, be another spouse, be
Right.
a trust fund or anything like that, they can take that into consideration is what I'm telling you.
But that's you.
It
That
doesn't
is not
matter.
Your
It
spouse.
doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I'm telling
I've
you.
never. We're going to.
I seen it.
We're going to come back to that.
I
We're
seen
going to
it.
put a note in there because
That's
that.
the research.
I
yes,
seen it.
because that's
I
not,
seen it.
That's not happening.
They're not
because if
Vicky
that
there.
happened, that could happen
No, they're
all
not-
the time.
they're
They
not-
would do that all the time.
They do
and then
try to
people
do
would
it.
never get married or do anything.
They
ever.
try to do it,
Be
but
single forever.
like I said, it's taken into consideration, not necessarily a thing that they would do.
Okay.
Ty, we appreciate you calling in, bro.
Appreciate
We
it,
gonna
Ty.
have to
Hey,
have
hold
you
up. Hey, hold up. Hey, Ty. I want you.
What's up,
Hey, I
man?
want you to tell them who's your NFL team, bro.
Oh Lord.
Oh, here we go.
It better be. It better be.
Yeah, baby.
What you say?
Boo.
I ain't hear you. What you
Kansas
say?
City all day.
Yeah. You from Texas, City, baby? You from Texas?
That quarterback from East Texas, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
So let's
We appreciate him so much.
Let's-
Thank you, Texas.
let's be clear. You're a Patrick Mahomes fan.
Not a Chefs
No, I'm a
fan.
Kansas City fan.
Yeah.
So I ain't never heard that.
San Francisco.
For how long?
Kansas
Hey,
City
Ty,
fan,
Ty.
man.
How long?
How long?
How
When
long
did you
been-
become a
I've
fan?
been
Yesterday-
a Kansas City Chiefs fan for 7 years, man.
7 years.
Okay.
7
you
long
ain't-
years.
Oh man, you ain't
Yeah, I
even
ain't-
you ain't even
young.
invested
He
yet.
young.
You ain't even
He young.
invested yet. You got to at least be 10 years before you invested. I still call you a bandwagon fan.
They hating, Ty.
You got, in my opinion, you already got your tenure. You're
I'll
good.
take
He said, "I'll take it."
Hey, man, hey, Ty, we got a San Francisco fan and a Rams and a Dallas fan in here, so we always bumping heads in here.
Always.
Yeah.
Hey man, you can't. So you saying the Niners trash too?
No, they're not trying. That defense turned up right now.
Oh, thank you, my brother. That's right.
Hey,
That offense, though, that offense not going to.
Yeah,
what do you
it's a
think
little
of their-
suspect right now. I give you that.
What do you think of their
That
their
running
schedule
game.
right
That
now,
running
though?
game is tight though.
That running game, they got the running back to do that.
Yes, sir.
I'll do that all game.
We will.
I hope you guys
Don't
go
have
the whole
to.
way because I'd love to destroy you.
That's
in
not
the
gonna
Super Bowl.
happen.
The Rams, though, the
Hey,
Rams
hey,
not
hey,
making the
hey,
playoffs. this
hey,
year,
hey.
bro.
You said the Rams ain't making the playoffs.
Hey, don't be disrespectful.
My barber is a Rams fan, and he owed me a free haircut after this. I mean, they not making the
Hey,
playoffs.
they gonna make the playoff. They probably gonna be
The
a first.
Seahawks and the 49ers looking too good. They not made three
Hey.
teams not coming out of that division.
Yeah,
No.
watch.
No.
Hey, Trinidad James. Don't believe
Hey,
me.
believe me,
Just,
just
don't believe me. Just watch.
Hey Ty, just because that dude can name names, he don't watch football. His team went to the Super Bowl and he ain't had a jersey on.
Oh my
did?
God.
I wouldn't have worn it either though, because I ain't scored no touchdowns.
3 points.
3 points.
Hey,
That was his name for like 6 weeks.
wait,
3
wait,
points.
wait. So what happened in an AFC Championship game? Bye bye KC. What happened? Did y'all even make the playoffs?
Outside penalty,
Hey,
man.
hey. Hey, I don't care. Y'all didn't make it. I don't care. Y'all didn't make it.
Said Tom
And
Brady.
I don't care. San Fran didn't make it, and KC didn't make it. So,
Hold on.
Hey, guess
but
what?
The Rams did make it.
Guess what? You
Y'all
didn't
had the
make
late
it.
hit.
Man, y'all have
Then
Yeah,
y'all
that's
had-
true. Who had that late hit?
our offenses and couldn't score no points against
Hey.
man in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
No points.
Hey,
Now look at golf.
hey,
Y'all is real suspect now.
hey, that's because the running back hurt, but he coming back. Just wait.
But they wasn't giving Gurley his love no way. That shit started
Yeah,
late in the playoffs last year.
'cause
He
his
wasn't getting
knee.
No love.
Cause that knee.
Man, he's supposed to out of ran it until he said he couldn't run the ball no
Hey,
more.
hey, Ty.
Force
Hey,
him to
wait,
run.
hold on. Hey, Ty. Please don't bring up running
Yeah.
back. When y'all got 3 of them in the backfield, and all 3 of them is super trash.
What?
That's all right. Look at our quarterback.
Okay, y'all quarterback the
Your
same
quarterback-
Ty Gurley on the bench right now.
Your quarterback kneecap is in his
Yeah.
calf right now. He can't do nothing.
I can afford.
Dude, he could
I
go out there on a
afford to
wheelchair and
lose.
still beat
I can
everybody.
afford to go 1-2 until he come back.
Hey,
Right.
Hey.
Matt Moore, hey, he the future in case.
Not.
He the future, baby.
Hey.
Oh, Matt.
Hey, bro, they would probably call Mike up there before they let Matt Moore do the future.
Yeah.
Man.
They're like, Mike, come throw the ball, man.
That's cool, man.
All right, Mr. Hubbard, we gonna holler at you, brother.
Ty Hubbard in the house.
Hey,
right,
peace,
man.
bro.
Appreciate it. Peace.
Good job, man.
All
Yep.
right.
Fellas Forum.
Yeah,
That was man.
That was our first caller, man. That went
First
well.
caller.
Shout out
Yeah,
there.
dope.
yeah, that was
dope.
That was pretty easy.
Good. That's good.
I'm glad
Yeah.
I don't play child support. I know that.
Right.
Yeah,
I hate
don't
it.
Subscribe
Yeah.
and watch. For real.
Yes.
Subscribe and
Wow.
watch.
Yes.
Right.
That's
That was pretty
Tense.
deep conversation.
that was
Pretty
heated.
interesting, yeah.
I actually talked.
Hit home. Hey, both of these suckers was like,
I like proud.
Man.
Just like sitting there, like, man, I'm really proud of myself right now.
Yeah. I'm still
man.
thinking. I'm about to go and Google everything.
hey,
Running out of time though.
Joe, what were you talking about? The loop.
The loop.
The loot.
Loot.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we have a little time. So, people who play video games
That's why I talked about because Todd Hubbard plays. He's a video
Yeah, we
gamer.
all-
We're all
Yeah.
gamers.
Yeah.
So with video games, you're probably familiar if you play enough of them, and not the single player only games, but they have a lot of things called loot boxes, and there's been a lot of drama around loot boxes because they're, in my opinion, a very unfair way of monetizing video games. And a loot box can be anything that gives you a reward that is hidden that you have to pay real world currency for. And what it usually is either it's a cosmetic or it's a actual game altering item, like a weapon or a better player that you can only get from the loot box, that you can, if you spend enough money, you can get it, and then you can beat people earlier on in the game without having to achieve it.
Is
What
that
was the,
like
what was the
Fortnite?
how much you say that guy spent?
So there's loot boxes are everywhere. They're in mobile games. They're
Right.
in AAA games on consoles.
Call of
PCs,
Duty,
everywhere. Call of Duty's notorious.
Call of Duty
but
has it a
lot
lot.
of mobile games are using them now too. And this one guy, and I think actually he was a developer, so he kind of had some of the money come back to him. But he was a developer for a mobile game, and he said he spent like over $1 million. But the thing that's really alarming is
my son plays a game on mobile, and they looked at his I guess you could tell somewhere you can go in there and see how much money you done spent on it.
probably over 100.
Dude, he spent over $1,000, bro, on a mobile game. Him and his friends was like, it was some game he liked playing, and it was probably over a good. He's been playing this game for probably a good 2 years or something. And he spent a
It's
grand.
bad.
G.
It's bad. And here's the thing, though, is it's governments are seeing this, and players are outraged. They hate it. Like EA Star Wars games, they were pretty much trampled down and killed because of how bad they were with the loot boxes. And Call of Duties have been the same way. And it's gotten to a point where like video game companies are saying, we're not going to do loot boxes. There's going to be no loot boxes at launch. And
Right.
then after all the reviews come in, all the positive reviews, they've sold a million some copies or how many more they need to hit. Then they go, okay, let's milk them a bit more, and then they introduce.
Doesn't Fortnite do that too?
So Fortnite does it differently, though. They don't have game altering mechanics. They say you have season passes and you can earn cosmetics. Nothing game altering. If you need something if they introduce a new item to the game, now again, this is how it has been. I haven't played Fortnite in a long time.
It does nothing to make your character better than the other character.
Yeah, it's only looks.
Yeah, skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And players are
stuff.
okay with that. Players like, if I want to buy a cosmetic, I'll get a cosmetic.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal.
Are loot crates in 2K or no?
They'll
Yeah,
have something like it.
They.
I thought we lost audio.
What
So quiet.
Are loot crates in 2K?
No,
or is it
there's
just in,
not.
No,
There is no loot.
No, not in
No,
not
no
in
loot.
2K.
So
But you
it's
can-
just
yeah.
RPG.
You buy a lot of VC.
Yeah, you can buy VC to make your player
But better.
overall better,
I've done
quicker.
that.
Instead of you playing the
what's
so
it-
people when you first get the game, you can buy VC to make your player
Wait.
like 85 real quick.
So-
instead of because it started 60, or you can play the season and get VC and build your player up. But people were like, I don't want to play the season.
What's the difference?
It's okay.
I'm
no,
going out
it's
to buy
the same
VC.
thing, actually.
I buy
It
VC.
plays into the same argument. It's called pay to win. So you don't have to grind through a game or develop your skills to be a better player. You could beat someone who's earlier on who may be better skilled just because you have a better player or better equipment in the game. It's called pay to win, and gamers hate it.
And I seen that. I seen a lot of that with the older Call of Duties when they first came out. Because one time we went out and got the game when it first came out, stood in line, and we went home, like picked up the game at midnight, loaded it, was playing by 12:15. And it was dudes that had the full gear already.
Everything.
I'm like, how is that possible?
Pay that money.
yeah, I used to hate
I mean,
that.
they flying through, and I'm like,
sniping the shit out of me.
dang.
From 7.
Where you get
I'm
that
like,
gun from?
exactly.
Right. What type?
I'm like,
That's a space gun.
I don't
yeah.
even see this on the game. Where'd you get this from?
yeah.
So the loot box mechanic is what has been getting under fire by governments around the world. They're calling it a gambling mechanic, which it is. It is 100% like a slot machine. You don't get to see what's inside it. And there are games that are saying, well, we have loot boxes, but you can see inside them.
Right.
But
I never even looked at it like that.
I never did
That
either.
is, you're
it's
right.
a gambling
Yeah, it
mechanic.
is.
And they aren't allowed to do gambling mechanics. That's illegal.
Doing
So they
slot
keep trying to
machines.
rephrase
Right,
it.
'cause
They
you
call
don't
it
know what's in it.
game
Nope.
or
No.
experience enhancing mechanics is what they try to call it.
And I love, and honestly, I love getting it though, cause I'll be like, damn, I got a different skin.
Well, that's the problem.
Ooh,
That's
this
the
is
thing.
dope.
It becomes an addiction. That's
Yeah.
an addiction mechanic.
Yeah, I
You
was
hit that
trying-
motherfucker, and it's so dramatic and animated when it comes up when you hit it
Yeah,
too.
They make it feel like a reward, and you get excited when you see that really
damn.
epic piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But here's the
I don't
thing.
care what I
I don't
got
spend
on.
Legendary.
But I don't spend no money to make me win though.
I was
just
about to
Not
ask-
no Call of Duty.
I only do
I
it.
don't mess with them loot boxes.
That was-
I do it on
Next
2K. On 2K, I buy my VC.
yeah,
and
but
get my shit.
when I first get the game, I do get
Do you
VC.
do you use it?
Do I use them?
Do you use loot box?
No. I actually get pissed off every time I see a loot box. And I
Do you get mad or do you get like scooter mad?
Uh,
You don't even know. You're like, I break my TV. I gotta buy another one.
I love how that's my level. Okay, so it's like, so there are games that I play that have things that are like loot boxes, but you get them for free, but it still has that random reveal mechanic, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, I don't have to spend any money. That mechanic is fine. It's when I have to spend real world money and then I don't know if I'm going to get anything good, that I do not like. I don't prescribe to that at all.
Right.
No, I do play games though where they have that random reveal situation.
Even like the little mobile app games that are just supposed to keep you occupied is the same thing, you know.
Yeah, they do the
To
same thing.
advance to the next level.
99 cents, you can get this.
Yeah, you
I
get
hate that.
like 99 cents. You get 500 coins.
Yeah.
And you can use that to buy more lives so you can keep playing.
Yeah.
And that's different though. That's like saying, especially if it's single player, it's just you get more time to play. You run out of lives, you get more time
But
to
it's
play.
like
They
that's
do
the
that
same
on
though,
Call of Duty
But they
mobile.
don't. But instead of like you can't. If you like play to win, pay to win, like you're saying, I think that's the same thing.
No, well, it's different. So if it's
If you're
a
paying to
free
get more
game,
lives,
it's a free game. But yeah, more lives is different than I'm going to, like, if you're playing a multiplayer, if it's a single player game, pay to win is a little bit different. If you're just paying for more lives, you're just extending your experience. That's I understand. But if you're playing a multiplayer game and you want to go ahead and buy this one gun that's $10 or $70, depending on how
The
much
damage is at 50.
or yeah, it's something ridiculous, and then you buy it at
Right.
game launch, and you walk into a lobby and start playing with these guys, and they all have the starter accounts and didn't pay for that stuff. You're gonna wipe them out. It's like having grenades when no one else has grenades. You know.
then you just hide and stab that guy and make him mad. Then he just focused on you the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
great.
But it's game changing. That's the problem. You don't play the same way.
I think it's great because I just piss them off and then they just come and hunt me and then,
Until
then
they go, like-
the rest of my team does well because this guy's just chasing me the whole time to shoot me
Unless-
with a grenade.
Unless he's buying
You
like,
trash!
kill
You only
streaks.
got 2 kills, but they were you.
He's got like this crazy kill streak he got out of a loot box that he paid for.
Yep,
that
and I
just
took it
wipes
out.
The map.
Yep, stab him in the
that's-
back of the head. It's great.
But here's the thing that's really interesting. So, like I said, governments are pressuring these developers to remove this mechanic. They don't like it. And in fact, some countries in Europe have banned it. And we thought once it started happening in Europe, it was going to just be a wave and knock it out of the industry, but it hasn't yet. So, but I think it might be going away soon because there's something probably worse coming, which is AI built into this marketing mechanic. So what they're going to do is they're going to be able to have the systems analyze your behavior,
Mr.
compare
Zucker-
it to other players' behavior.
Mr. Zuckerberg had to go to court about this.
Yeah. Data is the currency of the realm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can say, okay, you will probably like this more. This is something that you have a 80 to 90% chance of purchasing with real world currency.
Don't you
because we
think
know
this
what it
became more apparent though when they killed net neutrality?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was talking
net
about the
neutrality is
last
something
time.
different. Net neutrality.
But don't you think it became more easier? It's easier that they took it out.
No. So net neutrality. Mark Zuckerberg was against killing net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was against it, that means.
But
So-
he's not double negative, not benefiting from it.
No, he's not. See, the net neutrality was just basically saying that you can't have speed highways. You can't say, all right, if you want to play video games, you need to buy this bundle of speed, but you can only use it for this game, or this game, as opposed to like saying, I just want to buy internet. I want to have all my TV streaming through my internet. I want to have my music streaming. They could say, no, you can buy a music streaming package. You could buy this music streaming package, or you could buy this TV streaming package. And they could super highway it to certain kinds of content, or they could even reduce the speed of websites they deem as hostile. But I say hostile is in politically different.
But I say 3 years ago, if I Googled coffee cups, I didn't see advertisement for it the next time I turned my phone on. Now I do.
Shoot, if you say coffee cup,
If you say any
It didn't
type
used to,
of
it wasn't like
advertisement,
that
brings
before
it
they
up.
got rid of net
We
neutrality.
talked
it
about
was
that
actually
at
it
one
was
year.
like that. My wife had noticed it before.
So you're talking
that.
about?
I did.
So what are you talking about? You Google something, and then after you come back next day and on your computer
Not even the
and,
next
and on
day.
the internet, it starts
an hour.
It start
it's
popping
always-
up.
minutes.
It's
Doesn't matter
always-
what you show. It's showing that which they can give you
What you
advertisements.
said.
Right, so
Okay,
look,
what you seen?
They do that now.
Right.
They do
I
that.
mean, I don't
We
think it was
talking
like
about
that.
milk.
Yeah.
I don't think
When
it
you go
was.
home,
I don't
you'll
think it was
see
like
more
that
advertisements.
years ago.
That's what it's
It
doing.
wasn't.
When I'm looking for a car right now.
Yeah.
I could be
All
All you
cars.
see is
I
Cadillac.
could be I could be working on my job, and then something pop up down there about a car. I'm like, what? I'm
Yeah.
not even looking at a car right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And I don't think it was like that 3 years
Well,
ago.
Obama had a plan in place to where they couldn't do that.
It was net neutrality.
And then
that
when
was
net neutrality
that was part of it.
got taken away when Trump came in, and then you see that it's just nonstop.
The advertisement, like
It's a lot more
It
now.
has gotten
it's a lot
really-
more now.
robocalls through the roof.
I don't,
You know how
I don't
much
like, I don't like that shit.
You know how much I see a Jeep
weird.
on my phone now?
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
much it just pops up because I went and talked about and looked at that Jeep the other day. Every day I pick up my phone and get on Instagram, get on whatever.
There's
Boom,
always advertisements
Jeep,
for it.
Jeep, Jeep,
We
Jeep.
talked about that
I
in
look
the
at
show,
like,
though.
I look at studio lights. I look at cameras,
And it's all popping
It
up.
always pops up. I get advertising all the time.
It didn't.
Which
I don't think it was
helps
like
in
that
some
3
ways.
years.
Hot
They don't
sauce.
help. I hate it. I hate it.
I know it feels invasive,
It is.
but in some ways, it's like I have found some products that I did like from it.
Yeah.
I want to
but-
look at stuff when I want to look at it because this is
Right.
my phone. I want to control the content that comes
Yeah.
across.
No,
it.
I agree with you.
That's
You're
my
right.
thing with that.
That's how I
It
feel.
feels like a violation almost.
Yeah,
It is.
It's absolutely.
They're listening
is.
to us now.
Right.
I mean, they
So
You
use
can actually
it.
turn that off.
If y'all listen, y'all need to stop
They
doing
like
that
it.
bullshit.
Yeah, you
They listening. No, they can listen to us. Be like,
Apple
oh, they ain't
actually
talking about
does
nothing.
do
Let's,
that.
let's go to somebody.
Right.
So look,
That's
there's
why
a-
I'll never have an Echo Dot or nothing like that in my house.
Right.
No.
No,
So,
I don't like
yeah,
that.
There's
I
a
don't
great-
like that.
So
I
iPhones,
got Echo Dots in my house, bro.
Do you?
They listening.
They listening?
They
No,
do.
they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they
They're
do.
listening
I'm
bad.
going home, throw that shit out.
Dude,
So look, here,
Trash.
check
They-
this
They
out.
do.
there's a service, I can't remember the name of it, but it allows you basically link it into your Wi-Fi, and it tells you what all your different electronics are broadcasting out or sending back to their host companies.
And it's a
So-
million of them.
It's everything. I mean, you have anything from Wi-Fi connected toothbrushes, which is ridiculous, to
Well, why?
there's a thing called a Quib or something.
Yeah.
And then they have like obviously your climate control, your cameras,
Nest.
your locks, your water,
Rings.
your lights.
No, that is.
Do you remember? Do you remember? I got a job at Task at my job. I got tasked to look for a printer. Remember when we got-
yes.
and they said they got rid
Yes.
of Lexmarks because they was putting.
Oh, we can't say names. We gotta bleep that out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bleep that out.
Tricks
Oh,
cards?
yeah.
Tricks
Bleep
cards?
that out. They
There was
was-
something from Lexington.
Yeah. Lexington. But they weren't selling those type of printers no more because
It was bought by China, and China has a piece in it that broadcasts back to China.
that's why they weren't selling them
That's
no more.
spy technology.
I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's that spy
Like, really?
technology.
That's
When you first
crazy,
hear it, you're
man.
like, wow, it's shocking. And you're like, well, that's no big deal. And then you're like, wait a second.
What are
It's
you printing
scanning
on
all
there?
our documents.
Everything you
Like,
scan.
man, I printed my
goes
balls over there.
over there. That's that spy. But that's what they have in a lot of equipment, though. People don't know that that's
Yeah,
like
and your-
spy technology.
Your
that
Wi-Fi,
wherever you're getting it
refrigerator.
from, it goes to where.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
all
what,
that.
There's
All
like
those-
that cellular company
Yeah.
from China that
Yeah.
the U.S. is blocking. They're saying don't use
Don't.
it because they can broadcast back to China,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're worried that's going to start collecting corporate and government secrets.
Yep.
That's why they have these.
crazy, bro.
That's why they have these SCIF meetings in Congress where you can't bring any electronic devices in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
here-
it's kind of scary. Did y'all know that they just took the nuclear stuff off a floppy disk?
Yeah, I did.
Well, actually,
I
that's a
saw-
good
I
thing.
saw-
Yeah.
You
I don't know,
why?
man.
That they said
hack a
it was
floppy
the
disk.
most secure
Right.
way to do it because you can't hack it.
Yeah, but they just took it out.
Yeah.
They just got rid of
Well,
it.
that part's scary, yeah. But
Yeah.
the fact they kept it on there, I was like, I'm
good with that.
That sounds
Yeah.
dumb.
That
And then I'm
sounds-
like, actually, that sounds amazing. Now
Yeah, you can't hack a floppy disk. I mean, that's like, to me, that's like the best thing ever.
Right. So look, here, check this out. So I don't know if I should. Well, anyway, Joe Rogan. He's got a podcast, right? I know. He's got a podcast.
What's a podcast?
And he's but he's interviewing it is like 2 hours long. But he's interviewing Snowden.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember him or
Edward.
not. Yeah, Edward
Yeah,
Snowden.
we remember Snowden.
He's interviewing Edward Snowden, and Edward Snowden is talking about every piece that we're talking about now, and he gives you the detailed information on all of this stuff. It's to me, it's a really informative pod, and it's a lot that I learned from it. If anybody want to check it out, but it's pretty.
I
dope.
like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
dope.
don't think it's the best.
Joe
2 hours
Rogan.
of my life.
Hit us up, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Just look
on,
at
our
the
podcast.
just look at.
I know.
Just
I would
look-
call you Joe.
He talked about the whole phone issue, right? That we're just talking about. He talked about it. He said these phones are set up with the capability of not removing the battery for a reason, because it's always listening, it's always paying attention. Even though you turn it off, it's not off.
It's on. It's on.
not off.
That was already proven.
Yeah, I knew
I've
that.
seen the video of that proven.
But so the old school phones, he said, every
Flip.
government agent has a burner phone. Mike, you silly. Has a burner phone because you can take the battery out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said when they walk into any meeting, they make you take the battery out.
No, you can't take your phones into those meetings
No.
at all. Period.
No, they don't use these type of phones. They don't use any type of smart.
I got a government. I got a government brick phone.
Now the flip
That's-
side to that is whenever I seen a YouTube video on whenever they was having meetings, because this phone is always
Yeah.
thinking or always responding.
Right.
They put as soon as they come into a private meeting, they put their phones in the microwave, and the radio waves around the microwave or whatever is
as a
producing off.
government thing?
Well,
So-
it was on YouTube.
so
it was just a YouTube thing.
what they have is-
they can't hear it. They can't do anything.
What they
with the
call
phone
it
in the
they
microwave.
call it a skiff. A skiff
Yeah.
meeting is a secure meeting where they're doing something. They might be talking about situation room, stuff like that. There's no electronic devices allowed in that room. Period. Like, you cannot bring any type of, no phone, no recorder, no nothing. This is pen and paper, kind of taking notes kind of thing. You
Yeah.
can't bring them in there. So
So go back to the phone being off. So when your phone's off, you said that it's still on.
Yeah.
yes.
So
Because it's connected
So-
to
so
Wi-Fi,
people-
connected to.
so people that
service.
go missing or something, and they say and people say, oh, we can't determine
That's
where they
not-
at
well,
because
that's
their
not-
phone was off.
That's
No.
not true.
Well,
So they
that's
can.
not-
They
even if-
can.
Even
It
if,
has to
listen,
have reception.
even
So if they
if-
can block the reception, it's not going to work.
even if your phone
So it has
is
to have
dead,
reception.
It
So
still has to have reception.
I thought
So-
maybe it would be dead.
So if your phone is off and the battery has charge, you still can ping it.
If it's dead, you ain't gonna get no surgery because it's
Oh yeah, okay.
Because-
yeah, I had pinged
because-
it. I had pinged- yeah,
Because
I pinged it. yeah.
even though the power is off, there's a capacitor inside this phone that stays on to keep power to the CPU, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's just. I mean,
it's-
technology is fantastic, but
It's great.
unfortunately, the
Yeah. It's a
learning
gift and a
curve
There's
curse.
gonna-
is going to kill
there's
us.
always
Yeah.
going to be a give and take.
It is. Oh, absolutely. And
I
data
don't-
is absolutely the currency of the
I don't like
Right.
I don't like having my location on.
I don't
I
either.
just turn it off.
In my truck. I don't turn on that 911 thing.
I don't either.
I mean, call me
what
crazy.
is that?
It's a
It
you can
basically-
press a button in it.
Basically, if
It's like OnStar.
You gotta turn your location on when you use Google
GPS.
Maps or GPS.
Yeah, but you
I
can
don't
turn
use
that app
GPS.
where it says.
Huh?
you
don't use your maps
I
on
use it.
your phone?
No,
But I tell
I
Google.
I got it on my
I turn my
truck.
I will turn my
forgot
phone on.
Brian know where everywhere he goes.
I will turn my phone on and look at three or four different routes, and then I turn it off. And
So
I
you can-
choose
Boy,
which one
turn
I
that
take.
on.
secret, bro. You were
Google Maps and like Apple Maps,
Bruh,
like, you can tell it.
Man,
That's that
you think I'm playing, man?
Secret
That's
agent.
that
Not gonna get
photographic
me.
memory. That's
You can
that
tell on your
photographic
phone now.
memory.
Say, only use geolocation while I have this app open. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it looks straightforward, but who knows if it's being.
Right.
I
Because
just
they
don't
always
like
say
it,
they're
man.
straightforward, then like 2 years down the road, we go, oh, well, they actually weren't really.
But the 911 thing
that.
you was talking about in the Ford trucks, I say Ford, 'cause I rock Ford. They
Trash.
if you have an accident, it turns your location, and it'll automatically dial 911
Oh, okay.
and give them your location, which that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you flip your truck and you're knocked out or something like that, that's great. But
I don't like that. I don't like those entities knowing where I'm at all time. I don't like that.
that's
Yeah,
weird.
I
to me.
don't-
I'm trying
like
to get
it,
you on
but-
child support. That's one.
But
Yeah.
but the good thing,
Yeah.
the other good thing about that
Hide your
though,
kids, hide
if
your
somebody steals my truck,
They can
Right.
turn it
They
off.
can-
I
Find it.
can call them and say turn it off because
Yeah.
they're still gonna know where it is.
Mhm.
You know, the GPS is still on.
Right.
They just aren't monitoring
Yeah,
it.
and that's that give and take you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
you get all these benefits, but at the same time, you feel somewhat violated because you lose your privacy.
Right. You do. Absolutely, you do.
Yep.
And they have, and a lot of people don't read all those clauses and accept.
I
it.
know.
There's
There's
a
a
reason they
along
make
with
them
it.
so long.
Hey, and they're long as hell, and we're
And
like,
it's-
okay, let's
and
go
it's
to the
a-
next thing.
And the first 19 pages is a bunch
Right.
of legal jargon, therefore and where if and who is and herein, and
you
you're
even know
like,
how-
what
what
is
you're
this?
reading.
What am I
What
even
the
talking
hell it
about?
is, yeah.
All right, accept. You know,
Hey.
that's what you're gonna do.
Snowden talks about that. All,
Give
But
them all
they were-
permission.
all of that.
But the thing I want to get in, we're gonna tap on this on the next because I want to get a little more information about
Yeah, we're running out of time.
the Zuckerberg thing when he had to go talk to Congress. It's about
the
like
robot.
if you are on social media and then you say you get off, you're done. You don't
They
want to be
keep
on
a
it no more.
ghost account.
They keep your information.
Oh, they do.
What they're want what
I
they're
might even know
what they're saying now is they're like, okay, we want to be able to let people make sure that their information is not being kept in some type of server somewhere, that their information is being deleted along with their account, which to me seems fair, you know. But I don't know. And then they were also talking about, you know, is it okay for somebody to tell a lie? Because
They're talking about the.
Chris Como, what's up,
Yeah.
buddy?
Call me.
They were talking about this on his show that they were asking him, why is it that certain entities don't fall under the same regulations that me and you fall under? Just like on Twitter,
well,
you basically can tell a lie on there.
yeah. So here's the thing: people get a lot of their news now from social media,
Right.
and the problem is social media is like, well, it's freedom of speech,
Right.
whereas news entities are actually held accountable.
And
For
what they
what they
were
put
trying
out.
to say, that's like, should there be some type of fact checking behind
There
this?
should be.
So,
Do you
so if
remember-
I say
100% should be.
if I say, you know, Joel said he's running for president and that's just a flat out lie, and then they get all these followers.
May
they're-
not be.
Well, I mean, but you get all these followers and nobody, you can't. There's no way to fact check it because
Yeah.
they just print it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and say, well, this isn't true. I mean, I get that might be a little troubling, but
But
it
it
seems to me
do you-
it's just a necessity
well,
to have some type of fact checking behind something. If you just flat out tell a lie,
I think social media tries to rely on the user base to be like, these are our fact checkers.
that's exactly
but
what he
that's
said.
not what they do.
Right,
That's
Instead,
exactly
they
what,
take it and they
that's
run.
exactly what Mark said. He's like, you know, you're a smart guy. You should be able to figure it out. There's researchers out there. You can
Right.
find out for yourself. I mean,
Nobody
you can find
does
out if it's, but nobody's gonna do that. They just
No.
soundboard on
but
it.
it all streams from the Russian bots. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, this is
That all
what.
strains from
Well,
the-
to be honest, the Russians didn't make up that idea. They saw us already doing it, and they exacerbated it. They took it to another degree and weaponized it.
It's
Right.
cold,
But we were
so they can
already
stay
doing
inside and type more.
Do y'all remember, I guess, I don't know, this couple years ago back, I guess when it was a lot of big around probably right after a little bit after 911 that was getting the social media text about the government setting off an EMP, turn off all your phones and TVs. And I was like, is this true? And everybody was like following it. I looked at, comments below, and they was like, man, is this really true? Is this gonna go on? And they was saying what date and everything. And everybody was like commenting. I was like,
This is gonna be serious. You better turn your phone off. It's gonna fry everything.
Turn your TV off. And,
I'm like,
Well, here's the question. It's going to fry everything. My phone's not going to work anyways. I mean, it has nothing to communicate with.
and the other thing was the last conspiracy theory I heard that they said Harvard and Yale were experimenting with this dust, silver dust, that they were gonna fly over and release into the atmosphere to reflect.
I do remember that.
To reflect UV light to combat global warming, and they're like, oh, they're doing it right now. They're just raining silver dust on everybody. I'm
I
like,
remember that. It was
Oh my God.
The trucks driving around, and people were like, it's them. I'm like, no.
At one time, people were saying that they was putting stuff out in the air to control the population and kill off some people.
like the chemtrails.
Right.
Chemtrails.
man, some of this stuff that comes out there and people just like latch onto it like bulldogs, man. They just like, oh, this is true. It's like, oh my God.
Some
They hop on it quickly.
Right.
Some might be true, some might not be true. You just gotta do your research.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
that's the music.
Fellas Forum FF.
Hey, that's
Like
my
and
show, guys.
subscribe.
Watch, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. We have a Twitter account, but honestly, we don't use it.
But still,
I don't tweet. I try.
TJ,
We still look at
I'm a tweet stalker.
TJ's a Twitter.
We still look at it. I look at it.
I look at it sometimes.
TJ needs to manage that one.
Yeah, TJ does. He's on there all
I
the
don't know
time.
very much, but
Hey, thanks Ty Hubbard for giving us your
yeah.
input on
Shout
the-
out to Texas, baby.
Texas, baby.
all my
Hey,
exes
and
live
if
in
you
Texas.
have
You cool, even though you
Swangin'.
are lame Chiefs fan.
KC, baby.
I mean, it sucks when you're at the beginning of a dynasty and no one else has to give you respect.
He said the D word. Oh my God.
It's so hard when you know you're gonna have to come back
I
on.
need to mute your mic. He said dynasty.
Yeah, but if you liked any of the stuff we talked about today, leave us a comment. If you have a different opinion, leave us a comment. And then also, if you have something you want to talk about, send us a message. Just like we were talking to Ty, we get you on the show, and get you to hear your voice. It doesn't matter if you're in state or out of state.
Unless
Ty
you
was out of
Patrick
state.
Mahomes, I want to talk to you.
If you are Patrick Mahomes, call us. We will talk about ketchup and Call of Duty with you for as long as you want. So
We got a high V here, so you can come there.
yeah. I'm still need to buy the Patrick Mahomes Wheaties.
We got cereal.
Cereal, baby.
I will eat that while we're shooting this thing.
Oh my God.
Not I.
All right, everybody. Me, I ain't none either. Peace.
Forum.
All right, see you guys.
Peace.
Peace, love, her,
Seriously,
grease.
though, I would totally.
You
do
done?
it. I would. Wow, I don't know.
Dude, if Patrick Mahomes came here, both